Welcome everybody to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. And we are hitting the final month of the season, getting down to the nitty-gritty. And it's probably a good time to take a look at the NFC North and where things stand. I mean, it's really a two-horse race right now. Two teams, 8-4, Packers and Bears. The Bears play at Minnesota and the Packers play at Detroit, and then they meet next week.
Right.
You know, how do you see this thing going here?
Well, whoever did the scheduling, Tom, I applaud them because these divisional games, they're important. And not only that, here's when you're supposed to play your best football. Teams have used scouts for so long, you're very familiar with them. You're playing all these week to week, and you shouldn't get caught by surprise.
Right.
Moreover, if you're the Chicago Bears, you got to feel like you shot yourself in the foot because here you are sitting at 7-1, and with the Packers in your rearview mirror, now the Packers are actually leading.
Yeah, they let them back in.
They let them back in. And I think for the most part, losing to the Chicago Bears, losing to Seattle, the Packers also lost to Seattle, so they're even there. But the timing of it, the Packers did theirs a long time ago, and the Bears just did it. So the Packers control their own destiny right now. So they have an opportunity to not only win the division, but go on and get a great seed into the playoffs.
And they better not look ahead to Chicago the next week because many people think that Detroit's going to cash it in, you know, this weekend, but I don't think so. I think they'll keep playing hard, and I think that that defensive line could give the Packers some trouble.
Well, they already have, and I think for the most part, history has shown that defensively, just the defensive front, they give the offensive line of the Packers problems, but doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
And moreover, that the Detroit secondary is horrible. So it can get in another shootout like we saw last year when both quarterbacks put up a lot of, Matt Flynn put up a lot of yards, so did Matthew Stafford. It's hard to understand what I think about Detroit looking at this division because I know going into the season, their biggest black eye was the defense. So I thought they would improve that with so many great things on offense and maybe even invest in a running back. So with that being said, the Packers need to take care of business, and you're right, don't look forward to Chicago because that game is going to happen.
Yeah, and don't expect the Vikings to beat the Bears, though I think that could happen, but you can't expect it
Well, if you're the Vikings, this is your last chance. This is a must-win for you. By winning that game, now you can knock out some of those NFC East teams, Dallas and Washington, even Seattle, some of these teams who are starting to come up and play well. You got to keep those guys. If you're Minnesota, if you can get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they may be coming into the final week against the Packers trying to get into a wild card spot.
That would be a great game.
That would be interesting.
Now, if you real quick, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if you're the Packers and you win the division with 1 game to go or whatever, do you rest anybody? You remember
that resting stuff is over. Forget it. Forget
so you heard it first.
Yeah,
Tom
that's really
no resting.
dumb.
Right.
Yeah, dumb.
Okay.
We'll look a little bit ahead, just briefly. Mike McCarthy is limited in the amount of padded practices he can have because of the CBA. So on Wednesday he had a padded practice, and he will not have one before the Bears game. So he tried to get Woodson and Matthews into pads to just kind of bang them around Thursday. He does padded practice on Thursday. Good idea, and he was unable to get Matthews because of some rehab schedule, but he got Woodson some pads. Can those guys come in next week and just play like it's normal? Really? They can play 50 plays? Or?
I think they can because Woodson is in great top condition, so is Matthews. Woodson is rested. He looks good. He's very energetic. It's killing him that he's not able to be there for his team, but now he's 100% healthy. And other injuries, not so much the shoulder, but his other aching things when you're in your late 30s that bother you, he's pretty much a healed man. Matthews is so much chomping at the bit because if you look at the psych leaders around the league and you don't see your name, it kind of rubs you the wrong way. When people say at one point he was the defensive MVP, he got hurt, and now he's not that way anymore. These last 4 weeks, he has a good push, Tom, and has to go on a tear and try to get 15 sacks.
And he'll be well rested going in. But we'll talk more about him next week and leading up to the Bears game. But I thought that was kind of interesting that he tried to get him into pads this week. big news this week was that James Starks got hurt, and the Packers went
Isn't
back
this
and
the
got
same
Ryan
movie?
Grant.
We've seen this movie before with Starks. He's almost like a tease because
Yeah.
oh, I'm so excited. You got a big running back. He's fresh.
Yeah, it's just getting hot,
And then
he gets hurt.
Gets hurt. I mean, does he want to get hurt? No.
Of course not. But
But
some
he
guys
does.
are prone to getting hurt.
So you go back to a guy, old, reliable. You bring in Ryan Grant that knows the system, that understands that I should still be here anyway.
Yeah.
The Cedric Benson project is put on hold. And I've read some reports where Rodgers even wants Cedric Benson back for next year. But here's an audition for Grant, for these other teams, to see that he's still in tune. And it also shows to me the intelligence of Ryan Grant to say, you know what? There's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he didn't get to play that Super Bowl year because he was hurt. And so maybe he's going, this could be my chance to actually get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If I'm the Packers, I'm a little bit holding my breath that the guy hasn't played, and in his past, he always fumbled early on in the season, and then as the season went on, he was pretty reliable. That would be a concern, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
that,
and
he hasn't taken a hit.
Yep, you're right. That's very astute because of the way he carries the ball. If you look at the way he carries the ball, sometimes it gets away from him because he runs so high and upright. The running style, if you're the offensive line, and we'll touch on them in a quick second, that it's the same big bag that hits the hole, same kind of style.
As Starks.
As Starks. So you're going to be okay there. But for the most part, hamstring injuries and things of that nature, could be a problem. But I'm excited because I think it rejuvenizes that locker room, Tom, when they see him walk in there.
Yeah. Alex Green will be the main guy, so we'll see how that goes. Another subject, T.J. Lang probably won't play this week, and they'll have to go with rookie Don Barkley. Now, he went in, and they gave him some help, and we're going to show how the different ways that they can help him. But, he's still going to have to do some plays on his own. He's going up against a really good pass rusher in Cliff Averill. And Averill will spend some time studying him, so it's a whole different ballgame than just jumping in there, isn't it?
I think for the most part, these guys are on the job training. Barkley is not used to this kind of pressure that he'll see, but also in X's and O's, he's also shown to be a little athletic, and you also understand if you're on the right side. They ran the ball a lot on that side, Tom, which is kind of shocking.
We saw a couple
I thought they run the other way.
We saw a couple of really good blocks he threw.
Absolutely.
In the running game.
On Stark's long touchdown run, they ran it to his side. So McCarthy is just going to call his plays. You can put in guys, interchangeable, but we're going to run our system, and hopefully these guys can keep up. But, if Newhouse gets hurt, that can be a problem.
Then they got a problem.
Yeah.
I would think that, based on how Barkley plays Sunday will determine where they put T.J. Lang when he comes back.
That's a good
Barkley
point.
plays well, don't you put T.J. Lang back at left guard?
Absolutely. Because we're also going to show X and the O's where Evan Diedrich Smith sometimes loses his patience. And sometimes, lose your focus when they're running twists and stunts. You have to be patient and especially if you're playing left guard. Left guard is very, very important. Because, again, that's the quarterback's blind side up the middle. So you got to need a guy who's going to be stocky and smart there.
Yeah, he's a center really playing guard, too. So that's a
center of
tough
the
deal
future.
for him. It really is. So are you going to apply for the Wisconsin job?
Oh, no.
Barry Alvarez hasn't called you yet?
They'll get a coach real soon. You know what? I was happy for Bret Bielema. I mean, you go to the SEC. It's almost like Baltimore, leaving in the middle of the night with the truck.
Yeah.
Wake up, hey, we're in Baltimore. We left Cleveland. But the thing about NCAA sports, there's no loyalty. Really. And you build a foundation. But ultimately, I'll say this real quick. I think the reason why he took that job in Arkansas, to get from under that cloud, Barry Alvarez. He wants to be his own man. So, and plus they paid him a lot of money. So, and I know a lot of Wisconsin Badger fans are upset, but hey, look, when you chant "fire Bret Bielema," he hears that. He hears that when he's leaving the stadium. So, if you want the guy fired, now he's gone. Now we're gonna see, can you get somebody to come in every year and win 10 games and go to 3 straight Rose Bowls. I don't know if
Right.
you can find that right away. So maybe be careful what you wish for, especially around Christmas time.
And next year we'll be doing 5 questions on the Badgers every week. Just so we can spread our wings a little bit, right?
That'd be funny.
All
That'd be
right.
funny. That'd be
So,
funny. Yeah, thank you very much at cynicsmarket.com. And for all your shopping and grocery needs, go to Cynics Ballester, owned and operated, and to the Salvation Army, doing the most good. This week, I was off on my vacation. I counted 36 times that I put money in the guys out there ringing the bell in bad weather. Thank you for those guys, because those families really need it. And WJ Kuhn in Oak Creek for all your automotive needs.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye.